Good morning, everybody. It is Heidi at Hen Chicks Studio, and welcome. We are glad you are here with us today, and it is a beautiful day here in Iowa, and I am grateful for the day. I'm grateful for you, and I'm looking forward to sharing everything that we have on our program today. And it's always interesting with technology. They're constantly changing it. And I see that the screen has changed again as I go live. So if I fumble a minute here as I try to make sure that we are going, just bear with me, give me a little grace. But we have so many things to talk about today, and just so excited to share everything. So let's get started. And where are you watching from this morning? And how is your day getting started? My day started off great because my daughters decided to get up extra early before they headed to volleyball camp and go to our favorite coffee shop, Natural Grind, and get me my Hunky Monkey smoothie bowl. And that was an awesome treat, and love getting to start the day that way. So that was wonderful. All right, well, we've got a lot to cover this morning, so I want to make sure we get started and do that. And I see we've got some of our regulars watching, Wendy from Marion and Karen from Missouri. So good morning to all of you. I love that. Now, some of you might be on Facebook and some of you might be on our website. Certainly love that. Again, we use the tool Comment Sold. So as I start to talk about things, I may put up a product, and that is a reference for you. You can type in sold and the number that is with it, and it'll put it in your, either in your messenger or in your cart. It does not mean you bought it. It means that it is there and you can review it and you can make a decision and then go through the purchase process if you actually want to buy the item. So be sure to do that. So, and Wendy, thank you very much. It is my 55th birthday today, and so I'm never afraid of telling my age. I feel awesome and am so grateful for every day that I have, and I can't wait for what year 55 is going to bring. Okay, so thank you. All right, well, let's start by talking about the fact that in the email, I try every 2 weeks. I'm trying to do it on a regular basis. Of every 2 weeks, I send out a mass email to all of you. And in this email, I did send out a mark your calendar list because there are so many things going on at Hen Chicks Studio. I do not want you to forget them, or I want you to know in what order they're coming in. So if you want this printout, just go to the email that was on in Monday, and you can actually, it's a PDF, and you can print it and put it on your bulletin board or wherever you need. We're going to talk about a couple of the things that are going on this list, but if you have any questions as you are looking at it and you're like, well, what does that mean? Don't hesitate. Ask, call, send an email, whatever it is, because there's other stuff happening as well, but this was sort of like the highlight list that is going on. So just want to make sure, bring your attention to that again, if you want to kind of keep in the groove of what is going on. The next thing I'm going to talk about, which is on the list, I have nothing to show because it's a mystery quilt. And we are so excited to be doing another mystery quilt with Celine Perkins. And bear with me here as we try to, there we go. It's been a little bit since we've done one. How does a mystery quilt work? We keep it simple around here, all right? It's a one-time payment of $15.95. Pay that once. You immediately get an email with the fabric requirements. There is also the general instructions that are listed on the website. And then later this week, I will start sending out as people register. I'll wait till I kind of get a bunch, and then I'll send out all of the cutting instructions. And the first tip is going to be sent out August 25th. And so that will be when we actually start the mystery quilt. So how does this go? All right, we give you a fabric requirement, and Celine does a pretty good job of telling you that it's a light, it's a dark, it's a background. I mean, you kind of have that general gist. But everything goes. You can pick whatever you want. It can be scraps. It can be, a repurposed kit. Whatever it is that you need, you absolutely pick what you want. And we love seeing what you pick on our creative community. We love seeing you as you make the mystery quilt, your progress, to post it on our creative community. So if you're not a member of our Facebook creative community, now is the time to become a member, okay? Because it's a lot of fun. And even if you're not doing it, it's fun to watch what everybody else is doing. And then starting Friday, August 25th, every Friday for a total of 7 weeks, you will get a new tip, a new clue to solving the mystery. And then at the end, we actually give you a link to load up your finished top so we can put it on our website. If you want to see what other mystery quilts we've done, if you go to henandchicksstudio.com/mystery quilt, all one word, no space between those two words, mystery quilt, you're going to see a lot of pictures of quilts from past examples. So by all means, check that out, right? All right, and I'll be updating that as we get going. So that is something you'll want to mark your calendar for. By all means, again, it's a one-time payment of $15.95. All right. Another thing that I kind of teased a little bit about in the email and am going to be talking about, I'm not going to reveal all the details, but we are going to be celebrating for a long time on the day of our 12th anniversary, which is Tuesday, October 3rd. And I am looking for quite a few, actually, 50 to 60 of our customers who would be willing to come in at a scheduled time for a little bit of show and tell fun. And again, I'll be revealing more details, and as I talk with anybody who's interested in that. So there's going to be, I think, a special t-shirt involved, that kind of thing, for anybody who does decide to help me. Anyway, hope you can join me on Tuesday, October 3rd. If you think you're going to be in the Conrad area and by chance have a quilt that you would like to share, you need to call me and get on my schedule. So just call the store during business hours, ask for me. I'll be the one that will be doing the scheduling for that, okay? And, okay, then I want to show you, before we get into our fabric reveal, hang on here, I want to show you, Goldie and Virginia are always making quilts, and I'm going to see, I may have to eventually back up here a little bit more, but for the moment, here is a quilt called All in One, and it is a pattern by Charisma Horton, and she does what I would describe as very graphic kinds of quilts. So that is the pattern for the one that Goldie and Virginia just made. They've also made her pattern Carousel, and it's hanging further back in the store. I don't know. Can you see it? Let me look. Oh, it's way, I'm going to put my finger. It is way back here, so you can barely see it. If we have time, I maybe will show it to you today. If not, we'll get to it another day. But always fun. I always say it's fun to try patterns and do different things. We had Stephanie quilt it, and I think she did an awesome job finding a more modern quilting design that fits this particular pattern. I'm going to get it up there a little bit closer, so hopefully you can see it. But I do think it is a beautiful, more contemporary quilt. So again, this is called All In by Charisma Horton. I think it's a nice size wall hanging, and they used some of my personal collection of cherry wood hand-dyed fabrics. So that is kind of fun. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. And let me move a couple things so I don't knock it all over. And then what you see behind me is a brand new fabric collection that we are going to talk about today. And there we go. I always think it is interesting that fabrics look different when we are looking at them on a bolt versus a fat quarter. So today I'm going to actually hold up the fat quarters of each of these pieces of fabric. So the collection I'm showing you is called Hollyhock Lane, and it is from Poppie Cotton. And I love the scale of the flowers. They're a little bit smaller, as you can see. It is super sweet. And I'm going to eventually, I'll give you, we do have a fat quarter bundle of this entire collection. So I will be showing you that in a minute as well. But the detail, again, of these prints. So there's two prints that have a little bit of, I'm going to say a more gray background, okay? And then as we move, then I just love some of these prints that are, I would describe them as soft colors, but not too pale. And we've got, this is the Yellow Joy. There is a beautiful white print called White Kindness. You gotta love it. That little dainty flower. Can you see that little dainty flower? Okay. And let's keep moving. We've got the Yellow Kindness. Again, that dainty flower. It's a great little piece. Wait till you, I think you'll love the pieces that we're doing with this. And then they're calling this Yellow Love at Home. And it's like a stripe with a little floral bouquet in it. So super sweet. And then this is their stripe, which is called Yellow Rain. You're going to see that in a couple different colors. So then we move on. There's some mint colors, the Bloom. And we've got, they're calling this Mint So Dear because it is kind of that all over floral piece. So we saw that already in the gray. Again, the stripe, the Love at Home. And then the Rain. Joy. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning. How are you today? Good. I'll put you in charge of making sure that Miss Ruby is doing good back there. Would you just make sure she's good? Awesome. Oh, thank you. All right, let's see. We've got Teal Bloom. Let's see, hold this up. You don't want to see the scanner. You want to see the fabric. So again, back to this. And if you all don't know, if you haven't heard, 2 weeks ago today, we decided we were crazy and we didn't have enough to do. And so we got a new puppy. And her name is Ruby. And she is doing well, but she is a puppy. So we have to just keep our eyes on her. All right, so we got Teal Kindness. Again, that sweet little piece there. And good morning and thank you everybody for your birthday wishes that you're putting on. I so appreciate that. And love seeing again our regulars joining us. And again, this is a little bit darker teal, but it's so pretty. And this is the Joy pattern. Again, I love seeing them in fat quarters because there's some, you're going to cut it up, right? You're going to cut it up most likely. This is Rain. And then we've got, and I will show you, let me get this last Rain one. Did it? There we go. And the Rain, it does come in several different colors. And the blue and the green, look at this. I love these colors. This is what I was seeing when we were down in Florida and doing some shopping a couple weeks ago. This color palette came up over and over in the garment industry. I mean, in multiple stores, we kept seeing t-shirts, shorts, dresses, anything that you're going to be wearing in the next few months probably are in these colorways. And I love being able to see all of those. So that is fun to see that we have a collection that is trendy at the moment, right? All right, here we have our, back to our blooms there. And the So Dear. So again, this is the all over floral. So there's no big floral. It's all small pieces. And again, I love that for a change of pace. And oh my gosh, good morning to everybody that I'm seeing on this morning. Love having you all join us. And the colors are awesome. Lori, I know, see that Lori's loving them. I think there's lots of possibilities of what we could do with them. And then the last one in this pile. Okay, so if you want a fat quarter bundle of that, it is here. So if you say, I love that all so much that you want all 21 pieces that I just showed you, then there is a fat quarter bundle. And it is $78.75. I have no photo in there because literally we're just in the process of building them. So you don't have to worry that you're going to get exactly what I just showed you. And then I also want to grab this really sweet yardage. And I have marked it as a panel, which would be 24 inches, right? But it is it has a great repeat. You get more than, when you get 24 inches, I think you get like a repeat and a half is about what it ends up. But these are so sweet. They're almost like little postcards. I don't know what you're looking on that side, so I have to just turn it here. Find sunshine and joy each and every day. That's exactly what I do each and every day, is I look for that. There's no place like home. Let love surround your heart and home. Kindness begins with a gentle spirit and a loving heart. Let's see, bloom where you're planted. I have peace like a river in my soul. I think I've said them all now, I think. Anyway, you can get the idea that there's these really sweet. So you could use this as yardage, like on the back of a quilt, or you could fussy cut it and have individual blocks, or maybe put a set of them together to make the center of your panel, like of a quilt. I think there's all sorts of things that you can do with that. And so that is the panel. And again, I'm selling it in 24-inch increments. So if you're wondering about that, it's going to be 24-inch. I'm referring to it as a panel. So that is how, and it's each. So you can't buy 1.5 panels. You can only buy one panel at a time. Boy, those semis, I hope they're not as loud for you as they are for me. And so that is something that you want to do. And Julia is on from Florida. I was just in Florida a couple weeks ago, Julia. It was a little warm for my taste at 101 degrees. I was actually glad to get back to Iowa where it was a tad bit cooler. Okay, so that is the beautiful Hollyhock collection. And I'm going to grab one more thing that I forgot before I'm out on air. You know there's always something that we don't remember. But I wanted to show you, we decided that Hollyhock Lane would look beautiful in Brightly. And so Brightly, don't have, oh yeah, there it is. There's the individual pattern. So we actually have, I put the kit up there as well. So we're doing, the girls are in the process of cutting it. It is so dang sweet. Their goal is to have it done before school starts on August 23rd, which is a Wednesday. So maybe I'll be able to reveal the entire top at that point. But Brightly is a wonderful pattern and looks so good in a variety of ways. And so certainly want to encourage you to get the pattern. And again, I'll put up the kit. The kit will be for the entire Brightly, the fabrics that you need, plus the pattern. And so again, fat quarter bundles and then the individual pattern as well. Okay, so that is our beautiful new fabrics for today. And if you happen to be a feathered friend, you already have your bundle of Hollyhock Lane in your mailbox. So be checking that out and know that this is the entire collection right here. Okay, so I got to do just a quick change here so I don't knock everything off. You know how that goes. All right, let's see. I'm looking at my list, making sure, checking it twice, sort of like Santa. And again, just give me a second, and I'm going to do a little set change here. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get through this because I've already been crying this morning, and let me tell you, there are tears of joy. So just know that I do get emotional because my heart is so full of happiness because of you. And many of you know, have heard me say, I do daily devotionals. And yesterday, my devotion was, and I'm just going to show you this, I quickly just printed off a version of it. My devotions was 2 Corinthians 12:10. I am weak, he is strong. And the whole idea, I know this is not a new concept, but I'm sure you've heard of the concept where if you fill a jar with rocks, big rocks, and you think it's full, we know it's not, because we could add sand in around those big rocks and it would start to look like the jar was even more full. But it's not. We could actually add water, and that water is going to fill every nook and cranny and really fill us up. And when I read this verse, I thought of that analogy, that I'm the rocks, and I'd like to think that I fill the jar, but I don't. I don't fill the jar because it takes the sand and the water, and whether that is my customers and my friends and my family, or whether that is Jesus and God that helps fill that up, I need it all. I need it all for you to help hold me up. And on a day like today, I am overflowing with sand and water because we have set multiple records. And as of today, we have set the record of over $17,500 for our quilt sale. That means that as of today, in the last 5 years, we have donated from Hen Chicks Studio to a variety of causes and people $50,000. And that, to me, is something to be grateful for. And I thank you for helping me. Whether you have purchased a quilt, whether you have watched this show, whether you have shared our posts, everything you do to help me and help Hen Chicks Studio, we are helping other people and we are making a difference. So thank you. Thank you for filling my jar to capacity. But the beauty of this is we're not done. We can go higher. We can go farther. We have roughly 50 quilts still left. We could raise another $5,000 and hit $55,000 for my 55th birthday. I love alliterations. And so I ask you today to continue in the next I don't even know what's the 31st. How many days do we have left of the month? Somebody calculate that for me because I can't at the moment. But I ask you to share this post. Tell somebody that we are selling quilts that are finished and ready to be used, and that 100% of the money is going to a good cause. This year, the cause is ALS, and it hits home a lot more when you are giving money to somebody that you wish you could change the world for. And Dr. Jim McMillan is our honoree. He is 58 years old and was diagnosed with ALS in November. And he and his wife, Ann, who is my cousin, like my big sister, are so grateful. And their attitude is something that we can all learn from. And they are opening every door they can. And they are making sure that they are truly showing gratitude for what they have and the opportunity that they have to continue to live, and again try to challenge the ALS with drugs and different things that are out there. I have several interviews that are already posted on our ALS page, henandchicksstudio.com/ALS. And if you, I still have more videos to add, but if you didn't see the one that I talked with Eric Grunfest from ALS, they give out $1,000 stipend, a grant to an ALS patient every year to help cover and defer some cost, because it's not cheap to be ill with such a devastating disease. And I think we'll be able to make a huge impact for a number of families in Jim's honor. And I know that they are as grateful to all of you for honoring Jim in this way. But again, we're not done. We have until July 31st. So I'm going to show you very quickly a few more quilts before we wrap it up today. But I encourage you, again, if you can't buy a quilt, tell somebody else about the sale, because again, we've got about 50 items left to sell. The price ranges are starting to narrow a little bit because, of course, items have sold. We've set a record of over 80 items that have already sold this year. So without further ado, let's show a couple quilts. Okay, this quilt is one that I made for our Shout It Out challenge, and I maybe better move back just a little on the camera, so just bear with me. We're gonna change the set just a little bit, otherwise you won't be able to see the quilts, or I'll be tripping on stuff or knocking stuff down, or maybe all of the above, because that would be just like me. Okay, so this is the Cherry Shout It Out, and I believe this quilt is $300. So again, if you're wondering how this goes, the entire $300 goes to the cause. And this is from my personal cherry collection. And it is a wonderful lap quilt. It's from our Shout It Out challenge. Again, if you live in the state, you'll have to pay taxes. If you need us to ship it, you pay $8.50 to ship. And of course, we're glad to hold on to the quilts if you need to come and pick it up. All right, so I'm going to just go through a few of these. This is Dance in Paris. This is a $400 quilt. This is, I would say, getting closer to twin size. I don't have all the measurements right here in front of me, but that is Dance in Paris. And I'll try to just quickly fold them up and lay them to the side. Leslie will help me clean up the mess afterwards. All right, then we've got Stella Bohemian Garden. And I love, this is like almost like watercolor painting and doodles. Let's see, I'll turn it around a little bit. I'll say more contemporary, if you want to say. And here, this quilt, I should have told you. Does it say how much it is? Because I can't, now I've lost. That one is $350. There we go, $3.50. So again, all of these quilts are ready to be used. There is absolutely no work to be done. I always chuckle that another one of my cousins came in the store one time and she said, do we have to make everything? And I said, absolutely, but not this time. This time, these quilts can actually be purchased and put to use. This is $300 for just a little Dottie. And again, a nice lap size quilt. Very sweet. All of the quilts, if you go to henandchicksstudio.com /ALS and scroll down a little bit, you'll see a link to the quilts that you can purchase. So you'll be able to see all of the items right there. This is a cupcake quilt that the girls made and is all flannel, front and back. So some little girl could easily cozy up in this project or in this quilt because it is a beautiful rendition. And oh, now I lost again. Sorry, I should have said the price first. If anybody sees it, here we go. $350. And all right, so then we've got I'll quickly, I think I've told this story before, but several years ago, Virginia said to me, Mom, how am I going to know the difference of like why a quilt is important? And so over the last few years, even though I've had a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to buy some antique quilts along the way, they have no sentimental value to me like the ones that I've made, the girls have made, my grandmother has made, our family historically has made. And so I have started to weed through my antique collection and am getting rid of some of those. This is a lovely quilt. Jackie and I were talking about this. It is such a beautiful graphic quilt and it's very, very well made. It's I'm selling it for $350. It's hand quilted in a just a grid pattern. And I think it is just a lovely quilt. So my wingspan's about 72 inches, so it's about 72 inches square. Would make a great Christmas addition for decorating, that kind of thing, or a great piece to hang on the wall because it is so graphic and it is beautifully made. I actually bought it at a show. I believe I was in Rhinebeck, where I bought it many years ago. Okay, let me see what else I got in the list. All right, we got the Between Friends, and this one is $350. Again, here, I'll go this way. Nice, kind of a nice lap size, large lap. Very usable. I think a little bit more masculine than some. There are leaves, but not flowers, kind of thing. I know sometimes we don't want to have flowers for all of the gentlemen out there. All right, and then this is kind of a combination piece, and the last piece I'm going to show today. I bought the quilt top at an auction, and it was in kind of weird shape. I'm going to just say it was in kind of a weird shape, and so I decided I was still going to finish it, and so went ahead and I put a wild back, kind of a fun big print on the back, poppies, because I love that red and white, and had it quilted and everything. This one has been washed and dried. I will tell you that when you're washing and drying quilts, especially like an antique one like this that I didn't know the quality of the fabric, and even if it's brand new, I would still use it, is the Shout color catchers. So anytime you are giving away a quilt, throw in a Shout color catcher and tell your recipients to wash your quilts on cold and gentle and make sure they have that color catcher in there. And if by chance that color catcher comes out with a lot of ink on it, then throw another one in and again gently wash it before you dry it. So those are all of the quilts that I have to show today. And so thank you for celebrating my 55th birthday with me. and helping me make my birthday month a great celebration of helping other people. And I think that's what we're on this earth to do, is to help each other. And again, thank you for helping me and for filling my cup to overflowing. And so with no further ado, I hope you have a great rest of the day and you have time to be creative. Bye.